A move-in ready home for under, say, $200,000 is kind of the model starter home for a young family, a first-time homeowner. But that home is like a needle in the haystack, especially in housing-stressed communities in the Adirondacks. A new pilot program is trying to make more of them available. That's today's story of the day.
Support for Story of the Day comes from Pearsall Wealth Management at UBS Wealth Management USA, subsidiary UBS AG, member FINRA SIPC, 1 Broad Street, Glens Falls.
Hey, I'm David Sommerstein. It's Thursday, November 6th. First up, a green group's plan to change the name of a mountain near Westport has hit another hurdle. It comes a few weeks after some locals objected to the renaming effort. David Escobar has more.
Coon Mountain is part of the Westport Preserve, a property that's owned by the Adirondack Land Trust. The group says over the years, it's heard from community members who find the mountain's name offensive. The word coon has been used as a racial slur against black people since slavery. In September, the Land Trust announced plans to submit an application to rename the peak Bloom Mountain. The name is meant to honor the area's wildflowers and 19th century ironworkers known as bloomers. But at an Essex County Board of Supervisors meeting this week, the board voted unanimously to oppose the renaming. Westport Town Supervisor Ike Tyler proposed the resolution. He says many residents don't want the name changed.
The bottom line is the taxpayers of the town of Westport do not want to change it. The landowners of that mountain don't want to change it. As far as I'm concerned, it's a closed case.
The debate over Coon Mountain started last month when several Westport locals spoke out against the name change at a town board meeting. Some landowners criticized the land trust for not consulting the community in the renaming process. One key disagreement is whether the name Coon Mountain is actually derogatory. Little is known about its origin. The land trust says it hasn't found any definitive history. Westport Supervisor Ike Tyler believes it likely refers to raccoons once hunted in the area. The earliest known reference to the name appears in a 1902 book mentioning a raccoon. The Land Trust says some community members have suggested Raccoon Mountain as an alternative, but Tyler says he wants the group to drop the renaming effort altogether.
My gut feeling is that they're not going to drop it, and they're going to proceed with it, and we're going to fight as much as possible to not change it. So hopefully we can stop this.
For now, the Adirondack Land Trust is pausing its request to the U.S. Board on Geographic Names. The group plans to hold a community discussion about the renaming in December in Westport. David Escobar, North Country Public Radio.
The State Department of Environmental Conservation says it's committed to stocking fish in Essex County waters, even after a century-old hatchery closes. In a joint press release with Essex County, the DEC says the Essex County Fish Hatchery in Crown Point will shut down next year. The facility's been in operation since 1928 and has been owned by Essex County since the 1980s. It raises and stocks brook, rainbow, and brown trout for all bodies of water in the county. But the hatchery has been a budget issue for the county for years. Essex County Board of Supervisors Chairman Sean Gilliland said in the release the decision to close it wasn't taken lightly. But costs to maintain the facility without compromising water quality standards have risen. It's had to reduce the number of fish stocked by 2/3 due to concerns over pollution. The DEC said it will immediately assume responsibility for stocking trout in 8 ponds and 6 streams in up to 31 locations in Essex County to support recreational fishing and related tourism in the region. Home prices have soared in the last 5 years, and so have second home buyers and short-term rental properties. So that first-time buyer home feels rarer and rarer. But there's actually one for sale in the town of Newcomb. It's part of a pilot project, and it could represent an affordable housing solution for the region. Amy Feireisel reports.
10 Colden Place isn't really what you'd picture when you hear the term manufactured home. The 1,400 square foot house is on its own lot with lots of pine trees nearby. It has an attached garage, blue clapboard siding with white trim, and a little front porch. Nicole Justice Green is the director of the Essex County Land Bank, which built this house. How many bedrooms are there?
There are 3. In the laundry room, it's the garage.
Wow, it's big. It's sort of the quintessential starter home with a price to match. 10 Colden Place is listed for $170,000. Green says it's really hard to find something like this in Newcomb.
Their rate of second homes and STRs is one of the highest in Essex County, to the point where they have multiple positions in their school district that they have had final applicants accept jobs and then ultimately have to decline because they cannot find housing.
This house is part of a New York pilot program that built 3 of these houses around the state, and they were made in a factory. The pilot was exploring if manufactured homes could be a feasible solution to New York's current housing crisis.
Thank you so much for this.
After a ribbon cutting to celebrate the completion of 10 Colden Place, Sarah Gallipo-Samus, a real estate agent with Century 21 Adirondacks, puts out the for sale sign. She's listed several Essex County Land Bank properties.
It's a good feeling, I think, is the genuine truth. It's a really good feeling, helping to bring affordable, sustainable housing to people who are in the workforce.
You see, there are deed restrictions on this house. To buy it, you have to make less than 200% of area media income. It has to be your primary year-round residence. Crucially, it can't be used as a short-term rental.
And not that there's anything wrong with that, but there has to also be houses for people who just want to live and work in a community.
And if the owners choose to sell, the deed restrictions stay.
It will remain an accessible property for people in the low to middle income, price point.
Creating permanent, affordable workforce housing is central to the Essex County Land Bank's mission. Previously, it's done that by rehabbing rundown housing and zombie properties. 10 Colden Place is its first new build project. Financially, that was only possible because the home was manufactured. A traditional stick-built home of this size costs around $450,000. 10 Colden Place cost a little more than half that, and it only took 6 months. John Erb is a director of operations for Champion Construction Services, which built and sited the home.
The whole aspect of the speed is that we build in a concurrent schedule. And what I mean by that is while the home's being manufactured in the factory, the construction teams are on site prepping the site, ready for it. So that works overlapping.
He says when the home arrives on site, it's almost done.
I mean, the home's about 80 to 85% complete at that point, and then we just have the finishing touches that usually happen over the next 30 to 60 days.
The other critical piece of this housing puzzle was the town of Newcomb. It donated the land the house was built on. Robin Deloria is the town's supervisor. He became aware of this 6-acre parcel back in 2017.
When we did the survey, we realized that it had municipal water, municipal sewer. It already had power.
He says that made the land valuable. It probably could have fetched a high price from a private developer or a single second homeowner. But he says he asked himself a question.
What's the best use for this? And the best use wasn't just chopping it up and selling the lots.
Instead, he waited. And eventually, the Essex County Land Bank was formed. Mary Lamphere, the town's deputy supervisor, says that was the partnership they'd been waiting for because the land bank deed restrictions prioritize full-time residents.
Families moving in here, increasing our school population, increasing our volunteer base for our fire departments, getting workforce, year-round people.
There's room for another 4 to 5 manufactured homes on this donated land. Lamphere says this will make a big difference in this small community. But this wasn't just a pilot here. It was also a pilot for the state. And because it went well, New York announced a new $50 million initiative last month. It will help pay for 200 more manufactured starter homes across the state. The Essex County Land Bank wants to take advantage of that money, says Nicole Justice Green.
We are going to be applying to expand this program in Essex County for up to 32 additional homes.
Green says while the land bank will continue rehabilitating housing, the manufactured model can help them get more residents into homes, and fast, especially considering the region's shortage of home builders.
Being able to order 30 homes and have them built within 4 months and have them dropped off and delivered is almost like a shot of adrenaline towards the housing crisis.
The new homes will be concentrated in Newcomb, Westport, Ticonderoga, and Chesterfield, with a few scattered sites in Lake Placid and Jay. Green says hopefully that's just the beginning. Amy Feiereisel, North Country Public Radio in Newcomb.
We have more news all the time on our website, ncpr.org. Music today by Eddie Lawrence of Saranac Lake and Ben Sharon of Watertown. I'm David Sommerstein, North Country Public Radio.